Hi, my name is McKinley Gilmore, and Chloe Webster gives the best hugs of anyone I have ever met. I'm serious, you guys. I'm convinced that her hugs could single-handedly fix just about any problem. If you have ever had the privilege of getting to know Chloe personally, then you know just how amazing she is. An old soul, and yet somehow so much more evolved than all of us, Chloe brings a beautiful, radiant energy into everything that she does. I met Chloe in 8th grade, when our shared affinity for David Dobrik brought us together in Miss Zimmerman's history class. Chloe waltzed into my life with laughter and kindness and a whirlwind of personality, and has been a constant in it ever since. Her genuine passion and love for life infect everyone around her, and despite her laundry list of accomplishments, she approaches every conversation and every person with humility and grace. Chloe is truly one of a kind. She listens and understands and appreciates those around her every day, and now I invite you to give that same attention to her. So listen up, kids, because you are about to be graced by the beautiful, talented, and incredibly intelligent Chloe Evelyn Webster.
Evelyn DeZonia stands a whopping 4 feet 8 inches tall, giving her the fitting name my entire family calls her, Mini Mama. With 96 years under her belt, you would think time must have weighed her down, but nevertheless, those who have the privilege of meeting my great-grandmother typically describe her with words like strong, persistent, extroverted, and fun. To her, age does not matter. She began driving when she was 14 and danced her way through her teenage years to marry the love of her life at 19. After her kids were all out of the house, she decided to start a career in real estate and later won the $1 Million Sales Man of the Year. Oh, and she didn't retire or stop driving until she was 94 years old. However, before I knew any of this, I knew Mini Mama as the cook of my family's Wednesday night meals. Up until the beginning of the pandemic, I spent every Wednesday around a squeaky wooden table, eating a meal Mini Mama had prepared for us. Whether over meatloaf or mashed potatoes, we always talked about what was going on in our lives. The most popular question, "How was your day?" always popped up, and Mini Mama was sure to answer with a detailed account of what she had done and eaten and where she had gone. No errand was less exciting than another. They all added joy, even the simplest grocery store run. At the end of the meal, we always kissed Minnie on the cheek and told her thank you for dinner. As we walked out the door, she handed my brother Wilson and I 2 bananas. It was tradition, don't ask me why. As I got older, practices and tests cut the time we spent at Mini Mama's, but my family made an effort to share a weekly meal, discuss, break bread. Mini Mama always had bread. Still, I found myself retreating early from the table to my English or math binders. During dinner, I could only think about the loads of work awaiting me. It became harder to answer the question, "How was your day?" And then the chance to even answer the question came to a halt. As the pandemic prevented our Wednesday night dinners, I began to think back on the times I left early to do work or the times I simply missed because of my schedule. Life had become so busy leading up to March 2020, and now I couldn't go back. Thinking about all of this for the past year, I have decided that we, as a whole, or society, or whatever you want to call it, have some pretty messed up priorities. I had been sitting in the presence of a woman who could probably teach me just as much as a history textbook chapter, if not more. But I had left to do the required work, what I thought I should do. For too long, I thought days were meant to be filled up, extracted of their time to achieve an outcome that I hoped to benefit from as years went on. Whether a class with the shiny letters AP in front or a leadership position that I thought looked good, I forgot to think about what those choices would look like on a day-to-day basis. Would these choices manifest days that I enjoyed? How would I respond to the vital question, how was your day? A short, good? I had lost the value of the day. Reflecting, I remember a conversation I had with Mini Mama years ago. She told me about how her husband, to my family he was Papa, used to joke with her, calling her a silly goose. Why, I asked. Because, she said, I wake up every day like I forgot yesterday, ready to live fully and completely in this day of my life. Last night, I walked into Mini Mama's house for the first time in over a year, thanks to vaccines. I'm sorry, Mr. Sohn, but I had to miss ACT tutoring for this. But walking in, the smell of her house washed over me, a mix of biscuits and whatever perfume she wears. Before dinner, we sat around the den, talking about our days, our lives, family. When dinner was ready, Mini Mama told us to wash our hands, like always, in her pink bathroom. Once we gathered around the table, said our prayer, broke bread, I stayed at the table. I listened. I thought of nothing but the people around me, especially the tiny but mighty dynamo of a woman seated at my left. My brilliantly beautiful class of 2021. There is no one else I would rather have spent 720 days of high school with. You all have impacted me more than you know. Our days are numbered, but we can learn from wise old Minnie and be a bunch of silly geese. Let's prioritize the early morning coffee pour, the blue sky as you walk into school, Faith yelling your name across the hallway, Deja's laugh filling up the senior den, as well as that dense smell of popcorn, a calculus class that actually spurs laughter, Ellen Parker keeping you company as you walk to class, saying hi to almost every person you pass by because it's St. Mary's and you know them, putting your hands in for birds on the count of 3, the taste of the food your mom cooked, a sibling's thoughts shared at the dinner table, a friend group chat blowing up about something, the goodnight shouted from downstairs because it's bedtime for Dad, that phone call right before you go to sleep, silence. And then, let me know, truthfully, how was your day? Thank you.